Well, it's interesting that you said that we both came from secular background, and especially Yuli, whose father was a priest. In the world that I grew, to be the priest or to be rabbi, there was really no difference. It was clear that it's not part of our world, that it's part of the old, ancient, dark tradition of prejudices. We are in this enlightened, secular world of builders of communism. But very early in the childhood, I discovered that I'm Jew, because not because we knew anything about our Jewishness. There was no such a thing as Brit Milah, or Bar Mitzvah, or Purim, or Pesach. It didn't exist in my life. But we found out that we were Jews because of anti-Semitism and all these conversations about restrictions for Jews at home. And very quickly we found out also that we live under dictatorship, because there is one thing which can be said at home and the other what you can say publicly. So I grew in the situation of knowing that I'm not a free person, and that there is no identity in my life except of desire to survive. As a Jew, you have to survive, and for this you must learn and be the best in physics or mathematics or chess or anything, doesn't matter what. So when you're deprived of both, the life is very boring. But it so happened that after 6-day war, that because of this, everybody's interest in Israel and everybody's connecting you to Israel, you start learning in the underground about your identity, about your history. And you became so enthusiastic that there is history and people and countries that you can belong to, that you discover your identity. It gives you strength to start fighting for your freedom and then for the freedom of others. So it is discovery of identity what brought me to be the freedom fighter, and as a result it brought me into two movements, the human rights movement and the Jewish movement.
I first of all think that Jewish and non-Jewish background in my case doesn't have anything to do with the beginning, because the beginning, and I say it loud and clear, was not to go to Israel but to leave the Soviet Union. I did study Hebrew at that stage already, which had nothing to do with the idea of leaving. I was studying Hebrew as kind of homage to my late grandfather, who studied Hebrew when he was 70-something years old, and I never made an effort to join him for 1 second and to ask for some word or letter just to make him happy. And after his death, as it usually happens, too late, I decided to take his books and study Hebrew. And at the same time, I was a student and was not involved in any Jewish or Zionist activities and didn't know much about it. And it's interesting that Natan used the expression, when people push you into being Jewish or being a Zionist or being connected to Israel. I remember that my first practical step to decide that I want to ask for an exit visa was when I had a fight with our CPSU, Communist Party of the Soviet Union teacher in college, who was talking very nicely about Stalin and Stalin's period, and I started arguing with him, and at some stage, in a very unpolite manner, I left the classrooms just slapping the door, and the rest of the students, who were quite shocked by that fight, said that man, when I left, he said, very unfortunate, very unfortunate. Where did he pick all these nationalistic ideas from? I never said anything about Jewish, Zionist, whatever. Where did he pick all these nationalistic ideas from? And I guess then it was, I have to say thank you to the Soviet authorities who turned me into a refusenik and allowed me to learn Hebrew and then teach Hebrew, and the rest is history.